Yeah, alright. Beta. Why does it even still say it's beta? In full auto steer beta, full self-driving Supervised. Keep your hands on the wheel and remain attentive at all times. Auto steer beta and full self-driving Supervised will no longer operate if autopilot disables 4 additional times. That's great, mate. Have fun with all that. Oh, come on, mate. User error, mate. Let's go. Alright. The nag is tremendous. Sorry, y'all. Unfortunately, can't count this as a zero intervention, but not because of FSD, but more so because of me. Really kind of screwed up there with the navigation. That won't be the first time though. That's the problem in this area, is there's multiple places called the same thing, but just with a different avenue, drive, way, etc., which is pretty aggravating. Find yourself at a destination that you're unfamiliar with, and it's because of a small error like that. But in this case, I guess no major harm. It's my fault. But yeah, like I said, pushing the gas, running late, 25-mile-an-hour zone, doing 43. It's kind of a narrow path. I'm curious how it's going to handle these bikers. Slowing down for them. That's good. Got a truck coming up ahead. Green light. Looks like it doesn't want to pass them. I'm going to push the gas and see what it does. Yep, it did slightly go over to the left, which is great. Coming up on our destination here. Gonna roll right on through that one. And we're arrived. Next stop. That's correct. Dude, ridiculous, man. Definitely having to put the spectacles on tomorrow. This is wild. Way too much warning for no reason. I actually, that's one of the things that I hated when version 11 got that update because of NHTSA or whatever it was, where it's like you would just start FSD. The moment you even started it, it would just say, pay attention. It's like, dude, it's not like a very great experience to like start off with a chime that is very abrasive and unwarm welcoming. user experience and whatnot, you know what I mean? Roll on through that one. Roll on through that one. Any chimes you hear is going to be a cruise control warning, just because I'm pressing the accelerator. Very nice. Excellent left turn. Didn't make me feel like it was too close to the divider. What did that just hit? That was wild. Something just hit the window. I don't know if that was a giant moth or a bird, but it felt more like a moth because it didn't sound that bad. But something just flew into the window. LOL. Here we go again, unmarked road, windy, tight cliff. Very close to the trees on the right, very close to the curbs on the right. Oh my God, I really don't want to get road rash there. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it really needs to air towards the middle. Like it needs to, or it should at least, be a lot better about that. Okay, so it's past the destination at this point. I go back. I'm not sure if that's a navigation issue or, you know, these are people's private properties, so maybe it's not like well mapped on that level. I mean, Apple Maps shows where I was supposed to go, but I don't know if pulling into driveways is quite there. Be right back. All right. Very close to the edge here. Pushing the gas. I need to get moving and grooving. So I guess I'm really just testing auto steer beta. I'm surprised. I didn't know that was even the case. I didn't realize that auto steer was considered separate from FSD. I don't know if it is or if that's just like a sleight of hand they're playing. But the fact that I have FSD supervised, but the steering part is still considered beta, that is strange. I don't know if they just didn't update the name or that's something that we're not aware of. But the steering part is really, like I was saying, it's really the most important part. Otherwise, the speed stuff is just cruise control. Stopping at stop signs, I guess that's like another thing. That's part of the full self drive, but like stoplights, stop signs, all that stuff. I guess picking up on indicators is the other word, but the steering is the main thing. If you can't steer, then that's not self-driving in my book. So very strange that it says you're full self-driving supervised and auto steer beta. Very, very strange. I'm gonna have to look into that and see what the deal is. So basically, every stop we've made this morning so far, all of the destinations have been, like the arrivals have been less than perfect. It either stops too far ahead of the house or awkwardly, because these houses are not on straight roads. That's my fault. I was pressing the gas. They're not on straight roads. They are like in cul-de-sacs where there's a curved nature to the street, so it's kind of not really stopping properly. It stops at a weird angle. I'm not gonna be too picky about that. I understand that takes a little bit more practice. But this last stop, it blew past the house and it was proceeding up the hill, which, you know, I don't know, navigation issue, like I was saying, because I've experienced several times where my Apple Maps goes to a different destination than the Google Maps, and I'm pretty sure Tesla uses Google Maps. So could not be really an FSD related issue, but nonetheless, user experience wise, not great. Part of that user experience is getting end-to-end, flawless, amazing, wow, took me right to where I would go. Okay. So this is another case where I need to take over. An arrival issue. Unmarked road again, you know. It's wide road, but there's no real side curb. There's actually like a ditch that's like 4 feet deep. So I'm kind of happy it didn't go into it. All right. Next stop. Where are we going here? Are we going the right direction? I'm pretty sure we should be going the other way. 1 second. Maybe I might have this backwards. No. Yeah, okay. It's just taking a different route, which, again, navigation issue. I would totally go the other way because it's shorter. Alright, here we very close to the edge. That's probably my biggest feedback point, complaint about FSD 12 from 11. I never was this concerned about being too close to the right side with FSD 11, and with version 12, it's just okay. We just ran over the curb. So like, yeah, perfect. You know, number one, I'm gonna have to check my tire to see if I scraped my rim, which I really hope I didn't, because I care about stuff like that. But it was a short curb, so I kind of like didn't take over. I had a feeling we were gonna hit it, and unfortunately I was right. Even right now, just super close to these curbs. Incredible. Really unfortunate, but I'm really hopeful version 12.3.4 handles that. Right now we're literally on a cliff, and being close to an edge is not fun on a cliff. And destination's on our left side here, but that's a map problem. I can see it right here. It thinks it should go there, which not the fault of FSD. This is a very, again, unmarked road situation. Okay, so not technically an intervention, but definitely ran over the curb, which you do not want to do. And right at the end there, getting up on a tight turn with a cliff, just you want to err on the side of caution. You want the person to feel, or the supervisor in this case, feel totally fine about what the car is doing. So going on our last stop now. Alright. Yeah, driveways are a funny thing for FSD. I've noticed, like, getting out of them and getting into them, it usually gives me that warning. I'm not entirely sure. I really don't want to go down the same road again. Alright, whatever. No, I'm gonna turn around. Again, navigation issue. I would have gone left back there at Albuquerque. Really taking that left to Albuquerque. Okay. Come on, mate. Super tight turn. Let's go. Cliff. All right. So Biff wants to be a buff. All right. Not bad. Not bad. It doesn't know where to go, huh? Interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure if that was a not know or couldn't get visualization, because there's like a kind of like a divider blocking the view, so it was just being safe, which is fine. Cliff. See, didn't feel great there. It obviously didn't go over, but it doesn't feel super tight. I'm not letting that happen. Too super tight. That's an intervention. Okay. I haven't been touching the gas, by the way, on this since this last stop. It's FSD's been controlling the whole speed and everything. Oh, the house next to me is like a hotel. Gotta yield. I'm gonna assist it, blow right through it. My guess, we're coming up on it. My guess is about the right side closeness. It's not able to identify the curb that well, maybe, especially when there is no curb. Like, this is just like a side road. Sorry, I shouldn't. That was my fault. I pressed the gas. All right. One more stop and we're done. Boy, oh boy. So I think that wasn't terrible. Several mistakes on my part. One of them being a navigation issue at the beginning. The other one being letting FSD catch me slipping and not looking at the road. But notes for tomorrow, not to let that happen. I would say overall, just guessing on the experience, 6 out of 10. Being pretty critical. It's mainly the big part of the 6 out of 10 is hitting the curb. Hitting the curb, not just hitting the curb, driving over the curb. It's really not, it's not a great experience. And the number of times I felt uncomfortable with how close it was to the right, that just really, it makes it difficult to say, oh yeah, it's ready, robo-taxi ready, or like recommendation ready. It still feels beta. That still feels beta. Like, for me, you know, I don't want to sound too critical, but just like the step from beta to supervised, it still seems beta because there's a lot of areas where I don't have confidence in. And coming from somebody who's been using FSD for over a year, almost 2 years, over 2 years. For over 2 years, it's just very, I'm zooming through them. It's very, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of improvements, but it doesn't seem like, it just doesn't seem ready for the normal person. Maybe I'm being too critical, I don't know. But just driving over the curb, it's something it never did in version 11. Never did I once experience FSD driving over a curb. Version 11 had a lot of problems like stuttering wheel and it doesn't know what to do, or abrupt turning, changing lanes, being too abrupt. And so like those things have been improved significantly. So I guess it's like two different categories of user experience. You know, like the smoothness of the drive has improved amazingly. Like it's very human-like in its smoothness of decision making under like normal circumstances. But things like the curb hungriness or the too closeness to the right, whatever you call it, stuff like that is just very, it's a big negative. It's something that a bad driver would do, right? It's something that someone who doesn't understand kind of spatial awareness of their vehicle, you know, having a good judgment of how far they are from something. So, not great. I say 6 out of 10, could be 7 out of 10. But on the bright side, got 8 stops done. Going on our 9th one right now. Got 9 stops done with 1 intervention, I think what it was. 1 intervention. And that was because of a cliff hanging closeness to the right side. And otherwise, little things like not properly arriving at the destination, you know, which again, I don't know how much of a issue navigation plays into that. I'm trying to manually tell it to go into the left lane. It doesn't go. I wish there was a little bit more control over the, you know, if I tell you to go left, you know? I'm not clicking the signal for no reason. It should just go to the next lane. And it should understand we're still going to the same destination, but it needs to adjust its calculation so that it goes to the lane that I want it to go, rather than staying behind the slow pickup truck with a bunch of garbage in the back. These are very nuanced things. Yeah, 6 out of 10 for today. Excellent. A couple people wanting to cross the street. That was partially my fault. I don't know, but the people turned away, so it didn't stop, which is pretty good in terms of it understanding that they were no longer crossing. One of them did start to cross, but I was zooming. I was holding the accelerator, so hard to judge that one. But it definitely slowed down, and I have no doubt that had that guy continued to walk across the street, it would have stopped for them. Almost 7 o'clock. A lot of cars are on the street now. A lot of people walking their dogs, walking around, going to work. Perhaps I should keep in mind to not press the accelerator that much so that we can capture these test case moments. Coming to our destination now. It's on our left-hand side. It should park on the right. Let's see. Very good. Pulled over, nice. Not too close to the curb, which is not great because it should be pulling over closer. So going back to home base now. I think that was about an hour and 40 minutes, but thinking about chopping out the first half just because I don't really want to have to do that much editing. And I don't know if there's a lot of appetite for people to. So I think that was pretty good right there. There's a guy who looked like he might have been crossing the street. He definitely did behind me. And FSD held onto that stop sign for a while there, longer than usual. Had that person not been there, it would have gone. So definitely picked up on him. But yeah, I don't know how much of an appetite there is to watch someone drive for 2 hours. Probably not a lot. That being said, I really, really, really am curious about feedback. I wish there was a way to submit this to just directly to Tesla. But that being said, they already have it. What am I saying? I just don't know what they're doing with it, I don't know if there's a person. It's clearly not a person. It's millions of cars. They're going to review it, each one. Yeah. They got to figure out the curb stuff. It's wild. It's wild how much of a problem it is. But keep in mind, this is all done, primarily was done in a very dark, it's done early morning, so it's nighttime. There's not a lot of visibility. I'm sure that causes the cameras to not be able to detect the curbs as much as they could, or at least the edges of the road as much as they could during daytime. The navigation always screws up here. So I'm gonna cut it. Thanks everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day.